evidence demonstrates that conversion therapy, especially when it's practiced on young people, is neither medically nor ethically appropriate and can cause substantial harm. I try to do something nationwide, but they're supporting efforts of states to ban conversion therapy, and that's something.
Conversion.
So why is the White House responding to this?
All is due to Christ's psychosis.
To the point that it's gotten so much
The
support.
lunatics with defective brains,
I mean, lately,
stuck in the 12th century that believe in resurrecting something that's with blood.
Fairness and
That's the reason.
discrimination among LGBT people, contractors used by the government. They've taken other steps.
Well, this is Calpun Piso, presenting facts, of course. And again, I'm always attacking, I'm going for the jugular of religious psychosis, especially Christ's psychosis, the HIV of the brain that nobody seems to see. All these problems in the United States of America are due to the insanity in the brain of people that is actually spread by churches, mosques, and synagogues, which is called believe in imaginary friends, Homophobia. Imaginary friend of for irrational belief acceptance. Because people with defective brains accept irrational beliefs, bizarre mathematical beliefs as true. And this, which is created by the brain, occurs in neurological disorders like schizophrenia, temporal lobe epilepsy, bipolar disorder, etc., etc. And of course, all religious psychosis. And now they call it conversion. Because it's in the Bible, crap. It's in the mythologies of the Bible. There are no differences at the mythologies in any other religions from ancient times. The mythologies of the Greek mythologies and the Egyptian mythologies and the Book of the Dead and all the rest of ancient text are no different than the text contained in the Bible, the so-called Gospels. Good news of insanity, of schizophrenia, because they're no difference. And see, this is what I don't see. And I'm glad that President Obama is trying to put a control over these lunatics, imbeciles that are ruining the United States of America. They are nuts in control. You can see them in Congress. These psychotic people that believe in resurrecting zombies that say with blood, or in other words, Jesus Christ and all the rest of crap, are in control of government. It's like a lunatic pilot, demented, schizophrenic pilot with too many drugs in his system, flying people over, like happened to the pilot and the German pilot. Exactly the same thing. That actually crashed the plane into the Alps because of his Catholic upbringing psychosis. And let's keep in mind, religious people are readers of only one book. There are hundreds of Bibles, hundreds of Qurans, hundreds of Talmuds, many variations of it, and they are based on mythologies. There's no one single religious text that is based on facts. No, it's a distorted version of history along with mythologies, and that's what the Bible is. And many, it's just like science fiction, accepted as true, like ancient aliens and conspiracy theory crap. None of it is based on actual facts and empirical, tangible reality. We have to keep that in mind. This is the problem in the United States of America, that all these fantasies and historic and science fiction texts are all blend like if they were reality. And a lot of programs, they make money on this. They love it. Because science fiction and fairy tales, they sell better than down-to-earth reality. And what these people don't understand is, if you want to see something based on reality, read this. Archaeology based on facts. All the different ancient epigraphy, where all these religious texts of today come from, especially the Roman Empire. You can see this. These people were gods, considered gods in ancient times. The Roman emperors were Jesus Christ. They had a title. They had many titles. Anointed One, Resurrected Savior, and things like that. They had titles in the vast Roman Empire. And people worship them. And they were very tolerant. And there was no such thing as a homosexuality. And as we know it today, in those days, because we're all bisexual by nature. We have males have tits, and females have small little penises, which is the clitoris. And because this Psychosis infected people, demented people of religious psychosis, they don't understand science. And they are against anything that is against reality, because reality destroys them. They make them land, reality makes them land in their world of reality, from the psychotic world of fantasies in which they dwell. Like conversion therapy. This is ridiculous. Again, anti-science and pseudoscience nonsense. And this is what you have in this country. The problem. They don't go with reality. They should study science. You want to study history, study archaeology, study geology, study evolutionary biology, study archaeology, study all that. They should teach the kids all that. And sex education. Sex education. Because we are product of coitus. We are evolved mutated primates, product of coitus. Find me one single human being that is not product of a coitus, of a spit,
of a sperm with DNA
into the cave of creation of the mother, forming the brain which emerged 9 months later, full of microbes and viruses. There are 10 trillion cells in our bodies, but 100 trillion microbial cells that live with us all the time until we die. And the only life after death we'll get is bacteria, viruses eating our remains. The ingrates, because we carry with them since the time we're born. But that's reality, my friends.
I'll take care of anyone, as long as they're loving parents, I'll care for any baby. So she really kind of explained it in a roundabout way of what she meant by that. So we really could that there was an issue with our sexuality.
Eventually, and it's not immediately, but eventually you get an apology letter from
Christianity-infected doctors, these imbeciles, should not have a degree. They are psychos.
Says, after much prayer following
Psychosis.
natal, I felt that I would not be able to develop the personal patient-doctor relationship that I normally do with my patients.
Much prayer.
To be a holistic
imbecile.
At some level, did you say...
Get that piece of shit Christian in an asylum.
Because we wanted a full sense of care for the family unit, not just for...
her to let us know that ahead of time. I don't know that we would.
It's Psychosis.
Right now, if she had let us know
a doctor,
I'm sure it would.
A doctor
have been very happy with
believes in a resurrected zombie that saved with blood, in sin, in angels, in the Bible crap. She's a racist, homophobic piece of shit.
In the apology letter.
Back in the 12th century.
I believe that God gives us free choice, and I would never judge anyone
Look at this.
on what they do. What's she referring to?
Free choice. Guys, give it to them.
She makes it pretty clear, especially
The Winnie the Pooh.
about it line that she's
The imaginary friend.
us being gay, and basically saying that we chose our sexual, jumped out of the page at us. It's just, if that's what she believes, that's what she believes. That's her belief.
No, she's a schizophrenic. There's a problem with this disgusting Christian pieces of shit that have a diploma, have a degree.
And saying that we chose.
Why give a medical degree to somebody that believing that is a Christ psychotic, that believing in imaginary friend that say with blood? No different than a psychopath, that the crazy, deluded, schizophrenic, or people with mental disorders.
Interesting.
Why give a degree? It's like giving a pilot a license. Like the guy that, the Christ psychotic Catholic co-pilot that ran the plane into the Alps. Same thing.
Yes.
And I tell it like it is. When I say piece of shit, it's actually a truth. And so I don't get banned and hate speech and all that stuff from YouTube and Facebook and all these very ignorant institutions that don't understand things at all, they don't understand reality. Let me explain to you why I say piece of shit for people that believe in God and psychotic and they're intolerant, homophobic. Okay, shit is a vernacular for excreta, which is actually waste. See, when we take nutrition and we expel it, after we take all the nutrients, we expel it as waste. When you spew things that are not true and in something that is damaging to the intellect of other people, and you're saying lies and lies and lies, that's waste of the brain. That's excreta. It's like neural excreta, like waste. So a Christian, a people infected with that, they are a waste of life, and they are waste. So they are actually a piece of that waste. In other words, they are a piece of shit. See? Make my point. Now that's the reason I call Christians, or people of faith, pieces of shit. Got it?
It's legal. She did nothing wrong, according to our laws. And we just want to, we think... Of course! Yes, because religious people are not deemed schizophrenic, she was 6 years old,
mentally dysfunctional, that should not be given a medical license to practice medicine. The same thing like a pilot that suffers schizophrenia and all this disorder should not getting a license to fly a plane. That's suicidal.
To add LGBT
There's no difference.
protections to different...
I was checking one of the YouTube videos that I made, this one in 2012, when I'm talking about the Crusaders, the American Crusaders and the generals, they work on the, like the new Crusaders, and I noticed a crucifix right here. I noticed a crucifix that is a copy one in Italy that shows the Christ, the abdominal muscles in the shape of a penis. And I didn't notice this at this time, that there is a crucifix they are worshiping. There is a crucifix, it's a very famous crucifix. And people in Florida, I believe, they were really upset when they showed the crucifix in the church, the copy of that, and they start complaining that was pornographic because it showed penis Christ. Typical. Check this out.
The ironic thing is that this Christ psychosis infected soldier is sitting under the image of penis Christ.
Right here, see? They're the same of that famous crucifix of the 12th century in Italy.
The crucifix is a replica of the one at the Church of San Damiano in Italy. And if you're a Christian, you have to believe in a resurrected zombie that says with blood. No if or buts.
Ain't all this resurrecting anywhere. It's a psychosis.
She had a lot.
There is no God. It's all creations of the brain.
I wasn't.
Christ psychotic infected artists in the 12th century didn't know how to draw abdominal muscles. They didn't know how to paint.
See? And there's San Damiano crucifix, and from the 12th century. But it is obvious. Look at that. So I'm not lying to you. Penis Christ. Oh, Penis Christ shows up in mysterious places.
See, Christians and all religious psychotic people are extremely ignorant. They don't realize the whole thing began in Egypt. It was an act of masturbation with the god Atum masturbated into his mouth, and he shoot the universe into existence. And this is the reason people venerated the penis. So it's over 5,000 years ago. And you kneel, you fall on your knees, and you're trying to grasp the semen. That's what people do in church. When you kneel in church, that's what you do. It's Muslims, when they lift the up in the air, they want to be ravished by penis Christ. This is the reality of it all. Enjoy it. For this reason, Christ psychotic are so anti-sex. They are homophobic, intolerant imbeciles.
I mean, it's so obvious. So these Renaissance idiots Don't they have to, they don't know anatomy? Well, of course, they know what a penis trias looks like, so they portray it just like that. Obvious. See, the religious psychotic people, they're anti-sex, anti-all kind of science. They are anti-practically everything, with their heads infected with this religious psychosis bullshit. They don't understand that mentally healthy people are atheists. Atheists. Because atheist is a person that can tell between fact and fiction over millennia. But the problem is they were persecuted and killed because he was in control of kingdoms and ancient empires, were basically the people that were considered sons of God and all that, and they were into all these fairy tale fantasies. And they explained the world with fantasies. While the atheists, the ones that didn't believe, but they didn't understand everything, they kept asking questions, always inquire. These are atheism. And thanks to atheism, in other words, mentally healthy, a person that can tell between fact and fiction, that rejects the bullshit of religious psychosis, are the ones that created this technology. These TVs, the internet, medical science, and all the rest of science. And you know that prayers don't work. If you believe in some Jesus that resurrect and say with blood, like all these disgusting churches that rape the brain of children do, be true to your faith. Be true to your faith. Don't benefit from the science of atheism, medical science. Just pray. If you have cancer, just pray. Instead of medical technology and all the technology of communication, like iPhones and computers and all that, created by atheists, just check your history and you'll realize that all that's created, all this science is created by atheism. And the Christ-psychotic infected imbeciles and people of faith, they drag the intellect, keep everybody thick-hearted, imbeciles. They don't want to, they keep praying and praying and reading only one book. And atheism, that science is progress. So they shouldn't benefit from this technology, which is product of atheism, the sinners. So don't benefit from science. Talk to angels so they come over and give you the information. Pray if you get sick. So the Christians, Christ-psychotic is hypocrites, are HIV-ridden imbeciles. Because see, believing God in Homophobia, imaginary friend of irrational belief acceptance, is in a way no different than HIV/AIDS, part of the brain. Because the cancer of God belief and all this crap bullshit, it's like it's like a virus that erodes the logic centers of the brain, that protects the brain from accepting bullshit of religious psychosis as reality. It gives you a reason. It's like people are retarded, mentally retarded kids and stuff like that. They cannot tell between fantasy and reality. They cannot grasp reality. And as you can see, religious people are the same thing. In many cases, the psychosis of religious beliefs, like schizophrenia created in the brain, lays dormant. And it has nothing to do with intelligence, because
in some scientists
they are God-believing idiots, and they're still scientists. Newton was one of them, for instance, and you can see that. And Francis Collins, Genome Project and all this. The guy is believing in a resurrected somebody that said with blood. How can you believe in, study science and learn all these things and reality and evolution, all that, and actually believe that a zombie named Jesus Christ resurrected to save with blood, was killed and resurrected to save with blood from the sin committed by a madman and a rape woman when they accepted a fruit from a talking snake in the garden? And also the Noah and all the bullshit of the Bible believe as true, and you can be an intellectual. No way. You have to be just like a schizophrenic, bipolar person suffer from mental illness, that you're highly intelligent, but you still believe in the fantasies to be reality that give you comfort and make you feel good. See, this is the problem. So we have to stamp out this psychosis, this virus of God belief that nobody seems to see. And realize that atheism means mental health. Means between a person that can tell between fact and fiction. And if you start believing in all these conspiracy theories and things like that, then you're no longer an atheist, because you A is without, and theos means imaginary friend, or in other words, God. In other words, without believing imaginary friends. In the moment you start believing in these conspiracy theories, in ghosts and things like that, you are actually no longer mentally healthy and atheist. But in truth, we are evolved mutated primates. We are crazy apes, crazy primates. We are all that. People should realize that. All this anti-sex, anti-gay, the homophobia, the racism and all that comes from Christianity, the psychosis of Christianity, and religious psychosis, Abrahamic psychosis and all that. And we must realize that in ancient times, there was a lot of tolerance, there was no racism and no anti-sex homophobia crap that we see today. And we didn't have this pedophilia and this killing people and torturing women for pleasure and all that. So you didn't see that in ancient times, because the gods created with their penises, like the sun god. And you can see that in my own ladarium here. You see the god Atum that created everything with his penis. The penis everything was sacred. You have Isis. You know, the mother goddess always holding one breast. One of it. It's like the eyes of Horus. And you can see the sun and the moon, the two breasts, that's what it represents. The baby Horus, which is equivalent to this is the title of Jesus Christ, which is the title of Julius Caesar, and many, many, many sons of God leaders. And you can see in my ladarium here that you can see a lot of the symbolism of the bull with wings, because the wings represents the sun god and the messengers of the god, anything with wings. And there was nothing pornographic about it. It's just not the way the ancients were. And then you see also phallic representation. Anything that you put wings on it goes to heaven. It's a messenger of the gods. And this is important. And this is what people don't understand. They don't realize that. It's nothing pornographic. And today we have the psychotic Christians turning the whole world upside down. They're anti-science, disgusting, sick people. Their brains are sick, and they cannot keep their illness to themselves. But the problem is that they are in power. They're in control of nations. They're in control of Congress. These psychotic imbeciles. And that's the reason they're anti-gay and are racist pieces of garbage. They're disgusting people. They're sick people. And we should, I love the sick, like Christians and Muslims and all these people. I love that, but I detest the HIV cancer of the brain that makes them so lunatic, so stupid, and so stuck in the 12th century. And this is the problem, and people don't realize that. This shooting, black against white and all that, is thanks to racism, and racism comes from Christianity. From the Bible. It's all the crap in the Bible. They're anti-science, they're anti-everything. These people have been going on 1,700 years of this crap. And this is what people don't see. They're anti-gay, they are homophobic, racist, intolerance all over the place. And the reason is religious psychosis. In this case, Christ psychosis, which I call it Christ psychosis. It's because Christ is an anointed Savior. Psychosis because you believing all these things to be reality. So it's Christ psychosis. Like it be Islam psychosis, Jewish psychosis, conspiracy theory psychosis. Anything that is so irrational is a psychosis. Is a problem in the brain. And this is what people don't realize that. So keep it healthy. Pace Deorum.